Well, so many kids that are actually suffering in silence because they're afraid to speak out about what might be considered a mental health disorder because of the stigma surrounding it. If we could actually get kids talking from a very early age about mental health like they do their physical health, we could ward off a lot of really serious problems. What my personal experience is that my husband, who was starting to suffer from depression and bipolar symptoms, was very ashamed of talking about his mental health problems because he grew up in a family where it was considered self-failing, that you weren't strong enough if you had a mental health disorder, and he ultimately died by suicide. I think it's really important that people who are suffering have the ability to speak openly about where their pain is, regardless of which organ it hits. I think just how important it is to have an open discussion about it. There was a time when nobody spoke about breast cancer, but now we have big parades and pink ribbons, and it's okay, and it's caused lots of people to go in for screenings and really take care of themselves. The same can be true with mental health. If we normalize it, if we make the discussion joyful, and if we make sure that people know recovery is possible, I think that it's going to be one of those things 20 years from now where people go, wow, I can't believe we ever talked about mental health as something to be ashamed of. I just heard from the mom of an 8-year-old girl today who is being bullied in her classroom because of her ADHD. And she said that because of the work that I'm doing, when we have concerts and when we have readings and when we have community events where we're talking about mental health, it gave her daughter the courage to speak up and be a group leader in her school. There's now 12 kids in a little group talking about neurodiversity and brains and how differently our brains work and why we should all be accepted. And to me, that's victory.